Yeah. No, I'll say everything with my chest. Oh, I forgot to post on socials today. I guess I'll do it after. Oh, well. It's because I came late today. We're almost right on time, too. Hello and welcome. Happy Wednesday, everyone. This is a sad day and a sad week, I would say, for country music. Of course, we lost Dolly Parton, rest in peace. Country music stars Jelly Roll and Kacey Musgraves are making their anti-Trump stances known. How will country music fans react? Then, Northwest, the daughter of Kim Kardashian and Kanye West, says she aspires to be a Starbucks barista. She's already got the blue hair. Now she just needs they, them pronouns. Plus, a Maine meteorologist's meltdown goes viral, and it is sure to make you laugh just as hard. This one is going down in the news blooper record books. All of that and so much more coming up on this episode of Scrolling with Hayley. But first, I need you to subscribe. I need you to subscribe, and I need you to tell a friend about this show. And if you're not watching right now on Rumble, maybe you want to watch on Spotify, or maybe you want to watch on YouTube. I don't care. All I care is that you do watch and that you tell a friend to do the same. So please do that. Support everyone here at Silverlock. Vince at 8, myself here at noon, Dan at 10, Sean at 1. It's all great. It's all great content, and we love having you here, especially those in the live chat. So we appreciate you, and I hope that you appreciate our sponsors as well. I want to tell you about Chef Man. Have you ever looked down at a frozen drink machine and thought, wow, that's way too expensive? Or maybe you've tried one that felt like a seasonal gadget more than a real appliance that you can use every day in your life. That is why I was genuinely impressed with the Chef Man Slush Ease Max. I was surprised by how much it feels like a premium frozen drink machines, like the one you see behind the bar with all the fun drinks in it, without the premium price tag. You could do this at home. It makes commercial-style slushies right on your countertop. And the best part is, especially for me, you don't even need ice. You don't need to put your own ice in the machine. It has it built in. It's a built-in freezing system. So you just pour in whatever ingredients you want to turn into a slushie and let it do the work. Plus, the large 90-ounce capacity means there's plenty to go around for family nights, parties, backyard get-togethers. What I really like is that it's not just a novelty appliance. It's something you can use year-round and skip those expensive drink shop runs. So if you've been thinking about getting a frozen drink machine, especially in time for summer and barbecues, I think you'll be impressed with the Chef Man Slush Ease Max. And right now, you will save 25% off with my code SCROLL. Visit chefman.com and use promo code SCROLL. Again, that is chefman.com, promo code SCROLL. Put those phones on Do Not Disturb. The show starts now. Hailstorm in the chat said, do any of these morons realize that a large percent of their followers are pro-DJT? Being anti-Trump is not a good thing. And it's a great point. And this is what we're going to get into in today's show, especially off the top, with country music star Jelly Roll, who has gone viral for many reasons over the years. You know, he's obviously a talented singer, but people mostly talk about his rags to riches story, being addicted to hard drugs and going to jail and cheating on and divorcing his wife, Bunny, and his massive weight loss. And his latest viral moment comes as he's been guest hosting Jimmy Kimmel Live this week. You have to wonder why he took that position. Is it because he really stands with Jimmy Kimmel and they agree with everything? Or maybe he wanted good publicity after the whole divorce situation? I feel like a lot of people were kind of pro Bunny XO in that situation and not Jelly Roll. You're not following?
Bunny XO and
That's
Jelly
her
Roll?
name.
I'm sorry, I'm not a country music guy. Yeah.
Okay.
I bet it was the Kimmel writers. I bet they were like, we got bangers for Jelly Roll. Here you go.
Right, but then why did Jelly Roll do this? You know what Jimmy Kimmel's show is like.
Very good point.
You
Very
know
good point.
that he is not funny anymore. He is just this anti-Trump mouthpiece. So when he's off on summer vacation or summer break, whatever, you decide, you raise your hand up and you say, yeah, I'm going to fill in for the anti-Trump mouthpiece role. It just seems weird. It's like not really part of his brand.
That's what confused me when I saw the clip. He's such a his brand is very like positive,
Yeah,
and betterment of everybody. This felt odd.
It feels weird. And this is what he did on stage. You know, he put on a suit for the first time. And I guess in Jimmy's absence, they still had to do the hateful anti-Trump jokes. I mean, they don't have to go without. In Jimmy Kimmel's absence, Jelly Roll got him covered. Take a look.
Well, Mr. President, from one fat pig to another, take it from me that physical fitness is very important. And trust me, you'll be happy to see your penis again. I do speak from a little bit of experience here, y'all. The first time I seen mine recently, I was surprised at how cute it was. It kind of looked like a little Labubu doll. You should not laugh that hard at my penis.
I don't really find these jokes funny at all. I don't find it funny. I don't really find it amusing. I don't find the Jimmy Kimmel Show funny, so I'm assuming that the writers, they're not going to like all of a sudden come up with some fantastic joke for Jelly Roll. So it's just more of the same stupid stuff. But
after the fat pig line, there is no audience reaction. It is
really
dead. Hold on.
Yeah, like let's play
Listen
that
to
again.
this.
Well, Mr. President, from one fat pig to another, take it from me that physical fitness is very important. And trust me, you'll be happy to see your penis again.
Yeah, that's weird. Maybe they thought that, well, the joke wasn't over. Maybe they were waiting for the punchline. Also, they were probably waiting for their
the applause.
cues. Everyone clap.
The dead silence, though, felt, ooh.
Yeah.
Whoa.
This is tough. I've been an audience member. When I was in college, I went to Fairfield, so we were in Connecticut. We were right by Stanford, and that's where they filmed, what's it called? Jerry Springer and Maury and all of those.
That is not where I thought that was going. What?
We used to get drunk and take a bus, like a party bus, and then we would go be in the audience.
Just Hayley in the audience. Jerry.
And they tell you when to laugh, when to cry, when to scream, when to jump, when to, like, you're sitting there. It's a full-time job. It's actually quite exhausting to be an audience member. And I did an audience, I think it was live with Kelly and whoever the hell was at the time. And yeah, they tell you what to do and what to say. So maybe they just knew that the punchline was coming. But I think maybe I don't think that there were probably anyone in that audience that respects the president, unless they knew that Jelly Roll was guest hosting. And they thought, oh, Jelly Roll's guest hosting, let me go. And it's not going to be Jimmy Kimmel. But I don't know. I think it's weird to have a fat man making jokes about someone else's weight. I think that that's strange. I'm sure Jelly Roll has had some jokes made at his expense throughout his career pertaining to his weight. Obviously, he's wanted to slim down, probably so he doesn't die. He does have a massive weight loss now. I think it was like 300 pounds or something, or like something crazy. If you have that much
story, he's such a positive guy. Such a weird stance to make on the Kimmel Show.
Yeah.
Just a little aggressive.
And I feel like if I was that large, I'd probably be sick and tired of people calling me fat if I could fix it. So then you do however he did it, however he slimmed down. I don't know if it was Ozempic. I don't know if it's gastric bypass surgery. I don't know. I don't care, right? I'm more so happy that this guy is probably going to live a few extra years now. But that seems odd to then poke fun at other people's weight. And it's the president of the United States as well. But it just seems like he's slinging mud at other people who have gone through, I don't know, it just seems like below him and beneath him. But I guess that's who he is and we just didn't know, you know? I feel like he has this, like I said, this rags to riches story where Jelly Roll has this good heart and he's, you know, I don't know, like turned a corner, and then it's like, oh, you know, this is like a don't meet your heroes moment. And I don't really have I'm not a super fan of anyone. I don't idolize anyone. I don't care. Like, I'm not a Swiftie. I'm not one of these people that's going to go to bat for some stranger that I've never met. I just think it's ridiculous. I'm not part of any fandoms or anything like that. But you would think that you would maybe keep up that, if you have that persona, wouldn't you keep it up? But I guess he can't. Maybe this is who he is in real life. I don't know. And if they're not talking about Trump's weight, they're talking about his private parts. Like, we've seen this over and over again. I don't know. The left is like obsessed with sex. They talk about it any chance they can get. They'll talk to kids about it as soon as they can. They were obsessed with Stormy Daniels' stories about Trump and his private parts. It's crude. It's disrespectful to speak of the president of the United States like that. Again, the Jimmy Kimmel Show is not above any of that. This is horrific, but these people don't respect the office, regardless of who is in it. I didn't vote for Joe Biden. I would not make jokes like this at his expense. I just think we offer so much grace to the other side, and none of it is reciprocated. And Jelly Roll isn't the only country music star to go left and abandon probably the majority of their listeners who happen to be in the South and the Bible Belt and people who happen to vote for Donald J. Trump. Kacey Musgraves has made her anti-Trump stance very clear over the years. And most recently, she urged her fans to donate to the legal funds of illegal immigrants. Watch this.
Center.org, I believe is the website. And it's a wonderful organization, and they help give aid, legal aid, and money to children whose parents have been deported unfairly. To me, it's not even a political thing, it's just these kids need help, and they're like literally the left with no guidance and no way to get through this thing without their home base or their parents. And so anyway, 50 cents, whatever the hell, I don't know, whatever you want to do, but that would mean a lot to me. If you don't want to, that's totally fine too, but yeah.
So, first of all, she says it's unfair for illegal aliens to be deported, which is not true. That's just the way the world works. But then she was urging them to give 50 cents. I think she said, if you can give 50 cents even. I love when rich people beg their middle-class fans for money. And especially because concert tickets are so expensive these days, it's really out of reach for most average Americans, I feel like. If you go to a concert, it is more so a splurge. It's like a special event. It's not like, oh, so-and-so's in town, let's go. I think it used to be like that.
Especially these stadium tours. If there's just so much that goes into it, parking and getting there, I need to be wooed.
Yeah, I mean, it's $100 plus to park in some cases. Then people are flying to go to certain venues because this artist of their choice isn't going to their town or whatever. So then they're flying, then they're staying in a hotel, it's like, bro, I mean, it's a lot. So then, you have these rich people that are saying, this is a cause that I care about. Please donate to them. And she's teamed up with the Young Center for Immigrant Children's Rights. She auctioned off some of her clothes, and the money went to the legal aid of illegal aliens who, again, broke the law, and now they need money to fight the law. And if Kacey Musgraves let ICE do their jobs, none of these people would need money to fight the system that they exploited anyway. If people didn't come here illegally and have anchor babies, this also wouldn't be an issue. But she says it's unfair that illegal aliens are being deported. Again, that's the way the world works. That's how the law is supposed to work. If you break it, you face the consequences. These people don't follow immigration law, and now they're being deported to their country of origin that they're citizens of. Seems fair to me. And everyone used to freak out about the kids in cages and being separated from their families and whatnot. All right, well, now the family sticks together. So based on the parents' bad actions, now it's the whole family's fault, or it's not the kid's fault, of course, but the whole family has to face the consequences. And that stinks for the kids, but that's the choice that the parents make. The parents break the law, they're getting deported, so are the kids. If you want families to be able to stay together and stay here, they have to do it the right way. So why not advocate for that? If these people actually cared about children, they'd advocate for families to do this the right way. They wouldn't want children being used as pawns by the Mexican drug cartel so that military-aged men coming across the border can get preferential treatment with no proof that these kids are even related to these men. Then once the kids get into the U.S., who knows what happens? Hundreds of thousands of unaccompanied minors are in the interior of the U.S. or elsewhere sold into slavery. I just saw that in Florida, they found like 165 missing kids. And Florida is big for human trafficking. So again, there are efforts going, all across the country to make up for what has happened. And then you have these country music stars and celebrities who have genuinely they're so out of touch with reality, and they're advocating to make the problem worse, not better. And that's what the Democratic Party and these idiotic celebrities, that's what they are advocating for. Wake up. Like, why would you take anyone like her seriously? She's also sitting on disco balls, quite literally.
What it looks like when no one tells me no.
A disco ball sack, if you will. It's a choice.
Expect that more from a Lady Gaga or maybe a Kesha, not at a Kacey Musgraves concert.
Also, like, people are bringing their kids to this probably. Don't you think? Do you think people are bringing their kids to a country concert because you think that country is more so
wholesome?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I like a couple of her songs, so I don't know a
Me
ton
too.
about her.
And I
but
think she's very talented.
I didn't realize that was her concert
Me neither.
thing.
I think
That's
this is new.
Caught me off guard.
I think this is new, like post-divorce. She's, I don't know, going off the deep end or something. I don't hate her. I don't hate anyone. Like, again, we covered this yesterday. I don't do cancel culture. I don't boycott. Just because someone disagrees with me politically, I'll call them out for that. But I think she's very talented. I like her songs.
For sure. Just a weird vibe.
Just strange.
Don't want to spend my money on that, I guess, is what like you said. If I'm going to splurge on a concert, I don't need disco balls and a lesson on immigration.
Juice McGroin in the chat says he's never heard of her. You should look her up, honestly. Like,
she's got bops.
She's got really good songs.
She's really good.
She's a beautiful voice. She really does. So anyway, I mean, if you can stomach supporting someone that doesn't agree with you politically, of course, I do that all the time. Conservatives do that all the time. We don't own culture. We don't own Hollywood. We don't own the music industry. So we have to put our, we don't put our faith aside, but we put our beliefs, our strongly held beliefs aside, not because you support these people and what they believe, but because if you want to listen to music, unfortunately, you have to, give money to people that disagree with you. These are people who are most likely pro-abortion and on whatever, they're pro-illegal immigration. I don't agree with any of those things, but I will listen to her songs in the car because whatever, like, what choice do I have?
Gotta pick your battles.
Yeah, I don't know. That's sort of my take on it. I'm not really that hard line on it, but young stars in Hollywood are usually not set up for success. They grow up too fast. We've talked about this with the Hayden Panettiere and all this stuff recently in the news. They get into bad party scenes. At 13 years old, though, Kim Kardashian and Kanye West's daughter, Northwest, she has been on the cover of magazines. She's been in the spotlight her whole life. She's got a budding rap career. Would you consider her music rap? You said you've listened to a few songs.
Yeah, it's very modern.
Modern rap?
Yeah.
I like Kanye. I think he's so good. I mean, he's one of the best rappers.
Musical genius, crazy person.
Right, but like
compartmentalization is key when talking about Kanye West.
Sure, but he is very talented. This is his daughter, so it makes sense that she would, get into this kind of industry, especially if she has that same kind of a talent. But she has her sights set on a normal teenage job come next year. She did an interview with Dazed Digital, and you see that she's got this blue hair. She's got piercings all over. And, what is on her neck? All these keys, this weird necklace. Anyway.
Keys to success, probably.
Probably. And so she's certainly not going to go the normal teenager route. She hasn't thus far. But she says that she wants to work at Starbucks. Again, she's 13 years old. So in this article, this interview, they asked her, if you weren't an artist, what do you think you would be? I know you wanted to be a basketball player at one point. Is that still on the cards? Northwest said, no, it's not. What would I be? I still want to work. This is so funny coming from a 13-year-old.
Hell yeah. Love the work ethic.
I still want to work. It's like, no kidding. You've got a long road ahead of you. I'm sure she could live off of her parents' money and do absolutely nothing for the rest of her life. But, that's nice. I'm glad. And she said, I want to work at like Starbucks next year. I think I can because I'm going to be 14. So I think I can. I want to have a regular job, I guess. And we were talking about how the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. You know, Kanye West is this genius rapper, and she's starting her rap career. And she is Kanye's daughter to a T. Like,
You listen to any of the interviews, it's indescribable how similar they are.
she is Kanye West. It's insane. So I just pulled this because I want to talk about the whole Starbucks of it all because I think that that's funny. But they also asked her, what's something you like to do but you're bad at? Northwest said, I don't like to do things that I'm bad at. Honestly, if she was any more like Kanye West, she'd probably say something like, I'm not bad at anything. But I just thought that that answer was incredible, very honest, and real. I don't like to do things that I'm bad at either, because then you don't feel like you don't feel very accomplished. You know, it's good to try new things and to, you know, to work your way up at something. But I thought that was very funny. And they also asked her, what's something you've changed your mind about lately? And she said, I don't know, laughs. I've been the same my whole life. Again, just an awesome answer. And then they finished the article with this. What's something you're still figuring out? And she said, maybe getting better at interviews. Listen.
You know this interviewee is like punching air. Just, oh, please, anything.
Give me something.
Please.
Give me something. Yeah, so she is her father's daughter to a T. I don't know if Starbucks would hire her. I don't know how young they're hiring people. I think 14 seems very young. Don't you think how old do you get your working papers? I guess you could be a freshman in high school and have a job. Or can you not? You have to be 16? I guess it depends on the state, right?
Think it does? That sounds about right.
Because
Freshmen in high
14?
school work
Yeah.
legally.
Yeah, I think so. People in the chat are saying 15, 16, 14 is normal. You can work at 14, but limited hours. So I think it probably depends on the company or the state law. I think it probably varies. I think for me in New York, growing up, it was 16. I had jobs before that, like I was babysitting, like things like that. But I think if you're going to be hired by a company and it's like on the books, you have to do it by the books, you know?
The World Wide Web says most Starbucks require you to be 16.
Okay, so she's got a few more years left. I think once her rap career takes off, she's not going to want to work at Starbucks anymore when she's 16.
Yeah, she has like a very solid music career currently. I don't know, envying the Starbucks barista is a choice.
Maybe she was just trying to seem relatable. She's on TikTok. She knows what being like the rich Nepo baby doesn't bode very well for people these days. Like the leftists really hate that for whatever reason. So she probably thinks I've got to make up for this and I've got to tell these sorry people that I'm just like them, you know? I'm not just Kanye West's and Kim Kardashian's daughter. I'm just like you. I have a minimum wage job just like you. But I think she would fit in at Starbucks because she's got the blue hair.
She's got the vibe.
She's got the blue hair. She's got the piercings. All she needs are they, them pronouns. That's what makes a successful barista. If you walk into a coffee shop, a local coffee shop, Starbucks, doesn't matter, and your barista looks well-adjusted emotionally, your coffee is going to suck. It's going to taste like doo-doo, to say the least. So I think, you know, she just needs they, them pronouns. She needs a gender studies degree. That's when you know your coffee is going to taste really good.
I genuinely think coffee peaked hipster era 2014. That was the best coffee's ever going to taste ever. People were taking such pride in latte art and
it was like
curly mustaches.
Sad millennials, I think, that couldn't get jobs and they still can't buy houses. So
yeah,
I
bring
think
back hipsters, I think. Suspenders, obsession with bacon, curly mustaches, and just the best coffee you've ever had in your whole life.
I agree with that. And Starbucks has done this thing now. I think if you talk about fast food and chains and things like that, they're all trying to be like Chick-fil-A, I think. Because Chick-fil-A sets the standard of the hospitality and all this stuff. And, you know, the workers, the employees that are treated well, they make the customers feel seen and all that stuff. So I think Starbucks started making this effort to sort of be like Chick-fil-A. And that's my opinion. I don't know if that's true or not, but I think that's what they were doing here. So Starbucks has had their employees draw art. Well, it started off as like, have a nice day on the cups. You know, they would, I don't know, it was like a quote or like a little joke or something funny. But they keep hiring all these like mentally ill, starving artists. So this is what people are getting now when they go to Starbucks. It's very scary. Okay, what the fuck, the person says. It's like the scariest drawing I've ever seen. I would not want to drink that, I don't think.
You hand me that, I think I might hand it back and just say, hey, can you pour this over? I can't carry this around.
I think I'd be like, is this like, I don't know, is this poison or something? I would think that the person who made this was not of sound mind. This is very scary. If you're listening, this is a very scary monster face. Well drawn. It's well done, but it is a very scary monster face drawn on this Starbucks cup. You have some other ones, right? Because people were commenting on this video saying, yeah, this is something that I've gotten. This is something that I've gotten. Other scary faces, dinosaurs, cartoons, things like that. This is like a meme, right? Sort of like a meme. What is that thing from? I don't know.
I don't know what it's from. I know it's like a play on the Benson Boone.
Okay. Yeah. So mystical, magical. And they've got, you know, this drawing. John Pork, of course. You got to get the John Pork in there.
I would like to say that I said my favorite drink was the Unicorn Limited Edition thing. 2 days later, they brought it back. I might be a wizard.
Interesting.
I didn't plan that, just for those who watch the show weekly. It rocked.
Nice. I'm
I
happy
felt
for
very
you.
powerful.
You are very powerful. There are some there's a dragon, you know, so again, it started off as, hey, have a nice day, enjoy your coffee, you know, you got this, things like that, these little motivational quotes. And now it's like, again, these people that probably want to be artists, there's these creatives that are stuck at Starbucks. So now they're just drawing on cups. They've got a lot of time on their hands. I've never seen a Starbucks be empty. Like, I feel like it's always very busy. When do they have time to draw all these things on the cups? Maybe in the afternoons? I don't know.
Maybe 10 a.m. to noon.
Slammed.
11 o'clock. I don't know, because you've already gotten your morning coffee, and it's not quite lunchtime to go get your other coffee. So
but everyone is on different schedules. It's like you get your morning coffee, but 11 a.m., that is someone's morning coffee. Someone goes to work for their shift at noon or something, and like myself, and they're going to get coffee at 11. I feel like coffee shops are always busy. Anyway, none of this matters. We're like going off on a tangent here. But the thing is, Starbucks employees have a look, right? And Northwest certainly fits that. So I think she would fit in. Liberals have a look too. And this liberal, I would assume, I actually don't know where this person stands politically, but just based on the way that they look, I am judging a book by its cover. This liberal took to TikTok and asked the greater community what kind of vibe she, he, it gives off. And the comment section did not hold back. So this is the vibe he brings to the function. Be honest. What kind of vibe do I give off? And this is a man, right? It's like is it? I'm always confused. I think it's a man, and it has a lesbian haircut, kind of scrawny, like maybe it is a woman. I really have no idea. You never know which way they're coming or going. I always say that, but you just really never know. It's a toss-up.
They look like they were in Vampire Weekend for one tour, but then joined another MD band.
They have nail polish on, but that doesn't mean anything. Gay guys wear nail polish now. So, or you in your music era, I don't know.
Yeah, let's be careful giving everything titles.
Okay. But this is what the comment section said. Because this person asked, be honest, what kind of vibe do I give off? They said, twink, they, them, Hufflepuff. Someone else said, I'm getting gay Jehovah's Witness. They, them, non-binary, lesbian, ADHD, POTS, uses cane in public. Because you know these people, they're collecting disabilities like Pokemon. ADHD is autistic with attention deficit disorder. I think they're like putting them together. It's
what if it's
different
high
from
definition autism?
Or that. I don't know. ADHD? Yeah, maybe. I'm assuming it's autism with attention deficit.
Yeah, that's probably a safer bet.
I don't know. POTS is when you get dizzy when you stand up too fast, essentially, which I think everyone kind of has if you haven't had water in a little bit. If you're a little dehydrated, I think everybody has a little bit of POTS. But these people, of course, they use it to their advantage. They say, oh, I can't go to work. I can't do this. And people said, other people in the comment section said, can't wash dishes because of ADHD. I can't work because I have anxiety. Non-binary Mormon, lesbian mother of 12 plants, non-binary barista with autism, chronically ill and in a bad roommate situation, which I think is so funny because, of course, they have a roommate. Of course, they have a bad situation. Like, of course, there's always something with these people. Someone else said Portland, Oregon. And someone else said Starbucks employee of the month, which, just brings all of this conversation together. And lastly, someone said, I don't know, but GoFundMe is involved, which I thought was so funny too, because again, they've got a lot of problems and they don't have enough money because they can't work because of their disabilities and they need your money. Yeah. They always want someone else's money. They don't want to make their own.
The bad roommate one was really funny. That one got me. I think that's
good.
my stamp of approval.
Yeah. This next liberal, they are letting their kid choose its pronouns all on their own. Watch.
They them pronouns for our children from birth until they're old enough to tell us otherwise. And I understand that that's unusual, that most people have never even heard of such a thing, but it works for us. Our oldest, we used gender-neutral language for that baby from birth. We made sure they had a variety of clothing options and toy options and activities. And then around 2 years old, they were able to use the handful of words that they had to tell us their pronouns. And shortly after, their gender. And those expressions of themselves have been so consistent. They are now 4.5 years old, and they are so fully who they are. And that is such a gift and a privilege as a parent, to raise someone into being their most authentic self. And I would not use they, them pronouns for that kid because they don't like that. That's not who they are. The only reason I do it online is for anonymity, because the less you know about my kids, the better. And because it's their gender, their business. But now we have a second who's about 14 months old, and their little personality is just starting to blossom out, and it's so fantastic. I love this age because you really get to see who they are, like who am I bringing into the world. And we are using the they, them pronouns, and we are also giving them their older siblings hand-me-downs and going to the store to make sure that we have some other options for them to choose from as well, because they're old enough that you could pick up like 2 little shirts and they can tell you which one they like. We're making sure they have lots of different toys and activities as well. And again, these are not like little clues we're trying to use to figure out their gender. It's just part of this broader ethos that we have as parents, that our role is to introduce our children in a safe and mediated way to the world around them, and then to watch, listen, and learn and support them as they show us who they are and what they gravitate towards, what they're interested in, and to help guide them towards those options as they arise. Anyways, all that is to say, yes, we do the they, them thing in public. We do it at the grocery store, the doctor's office, with childcare providers, and some people get it, and some people don't.
How confusing
the ones who
is
do,
this?
that copy our language.
Isn't it confusing to change your kids' pronouns at home and then when you're in public and with doctors and all this stuff? Like, all they're doing is confusing these kids. Kids don't even know what pronouns are, by the way. They do not know what pronouns are. This guy's kid is 4 years old. Your 4-year-old does not know what a pronoun is. They're just learning the English language as normal. Of course, pronouns that goes hand in hand, right? You learn how to speak English and you're learning pronouns, but you don't learn them in this context of gender and sexuality and all that. These kids they get to English class one day in elementary school and they learn that there's a word for how they've been naturally speaking this whole time. It's like, oh, that's a pronoun, right? You've already learned how to speak the language. Now you're understanding it. And for parents to purposefully confuse their kids in the name of being woke is so dumb. They're going to let their kid choose their pronouns. Are they educating, because they love this word, educating? Are they educating their toddler on neo-pronouns like ze, zer? I mean, like, what do these conversations look like? These kids are too young to understand this anyway. Someone in the chat said, we're doomed. Take that child away. Crazy. This is why Rome fell. This is absolutely delusional and so scary that they should not procreate. I don't even know if this person did procreate. I have no idea how they obtained these children, but it seems unnatural. It's just so scary. Someone else in the chat said, I'm sorry, but they are mental. It's crazy. It's totally crazy. And this actually happened, by the way. Do you remember Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt? They have a daughter named Shiloh.
Yeah, their family unit is
Bizarre.
something.
Bizarre to say the least. But they had a daughter named Shiloh. And I remember when she was like 7 or something, they started dressing her like a boy because I guess she maybe made that known to her parents. Like, I want to wear a suit on the red carpet kind of a thing. They cut her hair. They were sort of like treating her like a boy, I guess, or like socializing her as a boy. And then she said she wanted to go by John and not Shiloh. I think these are just kids that they don't know what's going on. They're just experimenting. They're being creative. I don't think they really understand the real world consequences of being like, I'm going by John today. I have a few friends who work in the education world. They are, they work in the education system. They work with children. Some of them are general education. Some of them need extra help for whatever reason. And they said that these kids come into school now and they're like, I'm Matt today and I'm Susie tomorrow. It's just become a trend that these kids are hopping on. I don't really think they understand what it really means. But then if you have a parent that is so quick to affirm this stuff, now you're set up for a whole life of confusion, basically. And long story short, on the Angelina Jolie front, the daughter Shiloh turned out to be a girl anyway. So I think it's just a phase. Like, she wanted to go by John and wear men's clothes, and then now she's an adult and she looks like a woman. And
I feel like the whole tomboy vibe has completely vanished. There's no that in between of just a girl who is a little bit more masculine, I guess.
And there's nothing wrong with that. I definitely had a tomboy phase where I was obsessed with playing sports. My favorite color was blue. I was always like dirty, like running around. I was a kid. My mom will tell you that she used to have to check my pockets before doing the laundry because I would put worms in my pockets. Like, I would put bugs in my pockets. Like, I was not this girly when I was a kid. I was just a kid. And I think especially if you're a daughter and or you're a girl and you have older brothers, or you're the only girl and you have only brothers, or if you're a brother and you have only sisters, that totally rubs off on you. It doesn't mean that you are a girl. My next door neighbors growing up, the kid my age was a boy, but he had an older sister and a younger sister. He would have his nails painted. His sisters would probably hold him down and do it and put makeup on him and stuff. He's not transgender. He's a totally normal kid, but it's like, these are kids being kids. And I think a lot of this is just kids going through puberty and feeling uncomfortable with their body because growing into the adult version of their sex assigned at birth is making them feel uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable for everyone. And they think that switching sides is the answer, when in reality, the only way to go through puberty is through it. You just have to go through it and get over it. But I think they're feeling discomfort, like whether you're getting your period for the first time or your voice is changing and no one wants to go through puberty. So I think they're like they want to stop the puberty, right? And this is how we get into the conversation of puberty blockers and things like that. Like, kids are probably going to their parents being like, I don't want this to happen to me. How can we stop it? And then they render them, sterile and confused for the rest of their lives because they put them on hormone therapies and puberty blockers and all these things. It's unnatural, and they're doing just horrific damage to this next generation. It's very sad. Clearly the left has lost it. They're basically experimenting on their own kids to virtue signaling. And in my opinion, this is political Munchausen syndrome by proxy, where they get a high off of having a trans kid or a non-binary kid or whatever, because they think it's socially and politically advantageous for them, because it's not because it's what's best for the child. Being trans is never going to be what's best for them. Embracing God's design is, but they go against the grain. It almost seems like they're doing their darndest to make their kids as abnormal as possible. They get to show everyone how liberal and how woke they are by the color of their hair and how non-binary their kids are. But they can do all of that, and they are so convinced that they are right and the other side is wrong. And we hear this narrative a lot that the left thinks that MAGA is uneducated. Like, we're the evil ones. We're going against what they think is right and vice versa. And earlier in the week, I showed you this trend that illuminates the literacy crisis we have in this country. Do you have that video, the old one of the boyfriends?
Of course.
Okay. So this was ask your boyfriend how to pronounce these words. He won't be able to do it. So if you didn't see that episode from earlier in the week, this is the
I came up with a list of words I don't think my boyfriend will be able to pronounce. Let's see.
Okay, Q. Kono. Kuna. Eptimo. Oh, I know what that one is, but it's like alias or something. Alias. Boy. Assaid. Camaraderie. I know what it is, but I just can't say it. English is hard.
You get the gist, right? These boys are stupid. Now, this woman is convinced that, all these dumb idiots that can't read must be MAGA. Watch this.
Does anyone else feel like this trend is kind of MAGA coded? The first couple of videos that popped up on my FYP were hilarious, right? It's a girlfriend or a wife having a boyfriend or husband try to pronounce these set of words. And 9 times out of 10, they can't pronounce any of the words. At first it was hilarious, then it was kind of sad, and then I found it kind of alarming that so many men doing this trend can't pronounce these words. And obviously, because I was watching these videos all the way to the end, the algorithm thought, well, let's send her 20 more. And what I noticed in most of them is that I kind of got MAGA vibes. That is until I saw a video where a wife posted her husband beautifully and perfectly pronouncing every single word on the list, and I instantly thought, oh, that's a liberal. Anyways, this is a long-winded way of me saying that I would really like to see Natalie Harp and Trump participate in this trend.
You think that President Trump couldn't read those words? Like, be for real. I mean, seriously, the left has come up with this idea that all Trump supporters are stupid, Trump is stupid, whatever. They use this example of West Virginia, Oklahoma, Louisiana, some other red states being ranked lower in education than blue states like Massachusetts and Connecticut, where they have a lot of higher learning institutions there. And just because you go to college and get a degree or multiple degrees does not make you intelligent. You can go to college and be a moron. You can skip college and become a millionaire bajillionaire. Like, doesn't matter. Education does not equal intelligence. In fact, not spending inordinate amounts of money on a degree that won't make you your money back is more intelligent than signing up to be saddled with student loan debt when you can't even get a job using the degree that you bought. So here is a pink hair who really thinks they're doing something with this one. Watch. Pink hair, septum piercing, of course, saying if Trump nuked Hawaii, right-wingers would be celebrating thinking he nuked a foreign country. Are you serious? Like, these people, so I click on the bio because you already, again, I'm judging a book by its cover, right? You already know that this person is liberal. They think they're very intelligent. I click on the bio. This is a 21-year-old male to female with a trans flag in their bio. And of course, they have to let everyone know that they're transgender by putting the emojis and the pronouns and whatnot in their bio. We, Republicans, are the ones that actually like this country and want to preserve it. We know our 50 states.
My guy has on a communism t-shirt.
Yeah, it's like, we know our 50 states. We know our bodies of water named after other countries because Trump is coming for all of them. Gulf of Mexico, goodbye. Lake Ontario, goodbye. We are coming for all of them. It's going to be Lake America right here. So Trump supporters are all in on geography, boy. We know our geography because we're coming for anything that's not America coded. So, yeah. No, we're well aware that Hawaii is part of this country. We have, unfortunately, Senator Mazie Hirono and some other liberals in Hawaii. We're well aware. Well aware. But this next creator says that Trump supporters certainly can't be medical professionals. Watch.
I think if you're a MAGA medical provider, you are a bad provider in any way, shape, or form. And I'm not just talking about MDs or PAs, or I'm talking about all. If you work in the medical field and you are straight up MAGA, that makes you a bad provider, and I will die on that hill. It makes you prejudiced from the beginning before you even speak to your patient. It makes you biased based on their background immediately without really getting to know them. And it makes you a bad fucking person. And I am just constantly shocked at how many providers are MAGA. It constantly blows my fucking mind. And how you can be in the medical field and support this administration, knowing that they're the ones that put RFK, I fucking can't. I said what I said.
She said what she said, but she didn't say much because she didn't really provide any concrete examples of how Trump supporters in the medical industry are bad at their jobs. She just said they're biased. Show me an example.
I feel like we don't run into this much political, I don't even know the word, just interactions as these people on TikTok are, where every single person they interact, hand you your coffee, have a MAGA day. What are we doing?
Right. It's very weird. This is what people were saying in the comments. It doesn't stop there. Also, MAGA teachers and social workers. Someone else said, I want a political affiliation filter on my provider care website. And someone else said, especially in women's health, they should have to disclose that they voted against their own patients' rights, which if you're caring for a pregnant woman, you actually have 2 patients to care for. So if you protect those lives, you are actually doing your job, but they wouldn't understand that. Someone else said, let's not forget pro-life OBGYN. I would really hope that my OBGYN was pro-life, but whatever. That's just me. I also don't think you should work in healthcare if you don't believe in vaccines or refuse to get the COVID vaccine. A lot of people would be better off today if they didn't get that shot, but okay. So she basically says if you are MAGA, you are automatically a bad medical provider without knowing anything about their schooling, their experience, their bedside manner, success rates, nothing. Just who they voted for president disqualifies them from being a good doctor or a nurse. She says that makes you a prejudiced, biased, bad person. These are all assumptions. Again, based on voting history, not their careers or who they are as people. It's already been decided in their heads. And I've never once heard of a MAGA medical provider not wanting to provide care for someone based on their political affiliation, but I have seen tons of examples on the other foot. Leftist medical professionals who say they wouldn't want to treat MAGA patients the same, many of which spoke about this on social media stupidly and lost their jobs because of it, thankfully. But this is completely one-sided. Politics shouldn't even come up in the doctor's office. It makes no sense. It's the doctor or nurse's job to treat the patient to the best of their ability, regardless of who they are outside of that room. But it all comes back to TDS, and here's a great example in California. Trump's Walk of Fame, Trump's star on the Walk of Fame. This person's really showing him. Oh, you're showing him. Period. Jumping on his Walk of Fame. There's also like other stickers on there, so people are just this star has been it's gotten like a sledgehammer taken to it. It's really been through the ringer, and unfortunately, they have to pay for it to be restored every time, and it is a crime because you're destroying property, but. This is like the same thing. You know how people make those TikTok videos and they're standing in front of Trump Tower and they have their middle fingers up and it's like, you really showed him.
I'm on TikTok. Dang it.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Not again.
Oh, man. He would actually probably get a kick out of this. I think if you showed President Trump this video, he would find it very funny.
He would 100% buy them McDonald's.
Yes.
Just as like a
thank you.
A thank you.
Yeah. These people need Jesus. And even when they find him, they hate it. Watch how sad this is. To the absolute loser who put these plastic, non-biodegradable Jesus statues. This is litter. It is not cute. It's not getting you into heaven. It's litter. I counted 9 plastic Jesuses. Arguably worse than throwing plastic water bottles, and they ended up in the trash. So this woman is walking around, a national park, you assume?
Yeah.
So she picked up 9 little Jesus statues. You know the little Jesuses. We have them in here. The little Jesuses, and throw them out. She says that she's really doing her part for the environment. I would say there's a lot that we could do for the environment before we throw out little Jesus. I don't think that the little Jesus is making that much of a difference, but
what if we had a
sad.
Hansel and Gretel situation on our hands and she just ruined somebody's way back?
I forget Hansel and Gretel. What happened?
No.
What happened?
No, never mind. It's over.
I
They
forgot.
leave the breadcrumbs in the woods. so they
Oh,
can
I
find
forgot
them.
about that. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah,
No.
maybe someone is well, no, the whole point of leaving the little Jesus is to give someone a little Jesus, right? You leave it behind and you hope that someone finds it and it's spreading the good word and the good news about Jesus Christ. And, you know, they're very cute. I don't think they're making too much of a difference when it comes to the environment, but oh well. These people are they're sad. I mean, really, to think that this is a virtue signal, of course.
Yeah, why post that? You don't have even if you feel that way about littering in national parks, sure, but calling the guy a loser, that's lame.
Pick up trash on the beach. Like, there are ways to get involved in this. Like, I'm not saying littering is good. I'm not saying it's not a problem. It certainly is. There's ways to fix this problem. Would I start with the 9 mini Jesuses that you saw in a park? No, but you know, they just wanted to make a TikTok and go viral. So picking up the mood a little bit. This video went viral, and this is probably one of my favorite news bloopers ever. If you watched my birthday episode, I was just playing all these videos that I was absolutely obsessed with. I love news bloopers. These are my favorite videos on the internet. DD Mega Doo-Doo. What was the other? Crispy Bacon. Like, these are my favorite videos ever. This certainly makes the list and maybe tops the list. This is a meteorologist in Maine absolutely losing it. Watch.
Heating, and so that's going to result in a few of these showers and storms popping up mostly across the north and west, and resulting in the chance for some heavier precipitation, a few bands of storms in some spots. We got to finish up this weather right now. I'm so sorry. I'm losing my mind over here. Plenty of those 70s, some low 80s, and spots on Monday. I'm gonna have to step on screen. I've never had this happen before. Oh, jeez. This is what rainfall's looking like. Then let's just throw it to the 7 days. Oh, my gosh. 70s and low 80s for Lindarius coastal spots. Different story, a little cooler. Low to the 70s. John, please.
Dude, just throw it back to the studio in Cairo losses. People in the chat are saying, is he high? And no, well, I don't know. Maybe he was, but this was his explanation of what went down. Watch. Andrew said, wait a second. People were commenting on the video being like, you just dethroned.
Have seen the video or were watching live, you know I had a little bit of a laughing fit. Kind of lost my composure there for a minute or two.
I'm gonna have to step on screen. I've never had this happen before.
Now, if you watched on air or you've seen the clip, you probably don't know why that happened. Well, I'll give you a quick breakdown as to why that happened. To give you some context, our anchor, Josh Gabbard, a great friend of mine, he was yapping his mouth about whatever we were talking about during the commercial break, and our producer Zoe decided to make the Charlie Brown, school teacher trumpet voice, the one that everybody knows.
Womp womp.
And to egg Josh on a little bit, I decided to pull up a video with that sound playing on the loudspeakers here in the weather center, just to egg him on a little bit more, right? Now, I thought it was just a one-time video, quick 5-10 seconds. Turns out I pulled up a video that was an hour long that played that trumpet sound by about 1 minute intervals. And I didn't realize that until, unfortunately, I was already live on camera doing the weather. So we go on air. I clearly didn't turn down the speakers. I didn't stop the video because I thought it ran out. And I'm about 20, 30 seconds in, and all of a sudden I hear this loud sound. And hearing that sound unexpected when you're in an environment where you're not supposed to laugh really tickled my brain. And so Josh started laughing. I started laughing while trying to compose myself. Josh ended up leaving the studio, which was great. It helped me keep myself together for the first 2 to 3 minutes of that forecast. But when Josh returned and we heard it loud and clear again, which if you replay the clip, you might actually even be able to hear it. I lost it. I couldn't compose myself.
I love news bloopers because it just brings a little humanity back. I feel like the reason why people don't like the mainstream media as much, and local news is sort of different. I mean, it's not as bad as like the CNNs and all that stuff, but it's so cold and it's so soulless. You know, they turn on their news anchor voice. It doesn't even seem human. It's like very robotic, and they are just straight to camera and they're reading a script, and it's not human. And when they break character and they start laughing or something happens, it's like, oh, these people are human again, you know? And I think that this is part of the reason why people like listening to podcasts, because if I have a laughing fit, which I do on this show every once in a while, it doesn't matter. You know, it's like very loosey-goosey and fun and relaxed, and there are no commercial breaks. It's just very relaxing, and it's a better environment, in my opinion. I think people watch this show and others like it because it's fun, and we do laugh, and we do like to poke little fun. And yes, we cover the serious issues, but yeah, we have a lot of fun doing it at the same time. And yeah, people like to laugh. I mean, the news is so depressing. Why wouldn't you want to get it in a form that is less depressing? So anyway, he has a crazy laugh, by the way. This is one of the craziest.
I thought he was crying for the first half. This video is very long, by the way.
Very long. So in the entire video, and we're not going to play the entire video on the show because it's ridiculous. It's like 6 minutes or something.
It's enormous.
So he's doing this huge weather hit. And so you can actually hear, if you're listening to the news hit with AirPods in or like whatever, you can hear the womp, womp, womp going off in the studio. So then you can start to see him, like, you know, his smile starts going and he's like trying to fight it so hard. And it's minute by minute. So, you know, for 6 minutes, it's like he hears the womp, womp, womp. He pushes through. Then it's womp, womp, womp again. And he's like, darn it. I think it was like the third womp, womp, womp where he's like, I'm losing it now. I can't do this. It's very funny. It's just very funny. He sounds like the character, the little shrimp from Shark Tale, you know that movie?
It's true. And the other thing is, my sister had a baby, and I took it over because she passed away, and then the baby lost its legs and its arms, and now it's nothing but a stump, but I still take care of it with my wife, and it's growing, and it's fairly...
That's what he sounds like when he's laughing.
100%.
My sister had a baby. I just thought that was funny. People were saying that he absolutely dethroned DD Megadoo in their household. That's a great one too. Unfortunately, a woman died in that segment. Like, they were talking about a woman who died, Deirdre something, and the news anchor's like, DD Megadoo, sorry, Mangudu. She just like, oh man. I mean, you got to think about whatever the woman's real name is, DD Megadoo. Her family is like, oh, well, you know when they say like someone passes on and it's like, we want their name to live on forever. They were probably not hoping that it lived on in that form, DD Megadoo, but she has, I mean.
Well, they had a good sense of humor.
People, right, because she's certainly being remembered for the rest of her life, as is Crispy Bacon and all the other ones. Very funny. And now, meteorologist laughing fit. So add him to the list. My next birthday show, we'll add him in and we'll relive this. So that's good. Anyway, thank you for scrolling along with me today. I enjoyed this show. I hope that you did too. You can follow me on social media at Hayley Carania. Same time tomorrow, right? 12 noon Eastern. You could follow everyone here on Silverlock. Vince at 8, Dan at 10, myself at noon, Sean at 1. I'm trying to get all my times correctly. This is all Eastern time, of course, but stay right here on Silverlock because Sean Farish Live starts at 1, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.